Hello, I finished eating, had a burger, I am back. She then places a plate filled with sweet and sour pork and calamari rings in the microwave. Speaking of which, why is there a microwave in my room anyway? I don't remember it being here when I left, for that matter. There's an unfamiliar rice cooker sitting on the shelf next to it. What's with the microwave?
これね、マキナが使ってたレンジなの。あの子、自分の部屋にはめったに戻らないし、もう使わないだろうから、ユージの部屋に寄付してくれるって。
That rice cooker too?
そういうこと。3合炊きの小さいやつだけど、半合で炊くよりは手間がかからなくていいでしょ?
I'm out tea, sadly. This is gonna suck. Unless I feel like getting water, but water does not quench the thirst. At least for me anymore. That's right. I see. The scent that inspired a moment of unease when I entered the room was probably the traces of fragrant steam produced by this small rice cooker. Even as a kid, I didn't have much in the way of happy family dinners. I know that full well. I know your whole history, Kazumi. And the fact that I'm playing a game with my mentality as me being in the character's shoes, I'm actually experiencing his emotions. But after my parents and sister died, I came to view meals as nothing more than regular scheduled nutritional supply periods. Now something inside me shrinks instinctively away from this sort of warm domestic meal. There's always this nagging, almost guilty sense that I don't belong in this picture. That is signs that you went to war. Because most soldiers do not believe they deserve happiness. Some go the other way around, but of course when I was living with my master, there were a few meals like this, but oh god, never mind, I'm gonna get the water. That woman was fundamentally crappy in the kitchen and rarely bothered to cook a full-fledged meal. The food she served me wasn't inedible, but it was never what you could call tasty either. JP would occasionally stop by on a whim and whip something up, and the food was definitely an improvement, but it was hard to get too emotional about it, knowing I was going to be cleaning up the mess she always left in the kitchen. Hey, Amin. I think I've asked this before, but why do you stick to me so persistently?
だから、一目惚れって言ったよね。それプラス私の性格。なんか私って誰かの世話を焼くのが好きみたい。
Do you really expect me to be satisfied with that explanation?
だって他に言いようがないもの。っていうか、どうしてそんなに疑うかな?
Because it's way too convenient of a story. Can't help feeling a little skeptical. A beauty with huge breasts falls in love with me at first sight, then literally lavishes attention to me out of sheer affection. I'm not quite went enough behind the ears to swallow that shoddy manga-style setup. There's something else behind this. I don't think this is me being paranoid. It seems like common sense.
逆に聞くけど、ユージは今まで何人の女の子と付き合ってきたわけ？
I've never dated anyone in my
だ
life.
ったらさ、ユージが知らないだけで私みたいな女がいたって変じゃないでしょ？
Well, I guess. I can't deny that I got gaps in my knowledge. If she declares this is just how women are these days, I don't have enough points of reference to mount a rebuttal. Yeah, that's a different story of ladies in Ontario. Well, mainly Niagara Falls, because Niagara Falls, I would not recommend. Good to visit and party? Bad to stay.
自分に理解できないものをありえないと否定するのは簡単だけど、それって自分の無知を棚に上げた発言なんじゃないかな。
Well, me and my personal belief, I don't believe in the word impossible. I believe there's possibility, not impossible. Because, let's face it, the vast majority of people said, oh, it's impossible for us to go in the air or go into the deepest oceans. And yet we done that. Like, that's the thing. We constantly change. There's no. So I personally believe, as long as we have science, there's no such thing as impossible, just possible. But we have to find a way to make it that way.
すぐに理解しろとは言わないけど、せめて世の中には私みたいな女もいるって事実は認めないと。
Another personal belief is I believe nothing is truly perfect. But that's my personal opinion. You have a point. As a result of ignoring a reality, it didn't want to accept this country once... Okay, hold up. Let me redo this again. As the result of ignoring a reality, it didn't want to accept. This country once merged blindly into a crushing defeat, mouthing flowery rhetoric about inevitable victory the whole way. In the same way, dismissing a perspective you can't understand as ridiculous is just as egotistical refusal to admit other ways of looking at the world exists. Basically, it's all about perspective and cognition. At the very least, I have to acknowledge that my values aren't universal.
はーい、お待たせ。用意できたよ。
Tell me something, Amen.
何？
Do you really love me?
言わなかったっけ？大好きだよ。
No hesitation whatsoever. And yet her words still ring hollow in my ears. Is the problem on my end? Well, fine, I guess there's at least one woman out there deranged enough to fall in love with a man like me. I'll accept that as a reality.
何それ？つまり、私がユージを好きだって言葉。
I'm not going to accuse you of lying, that's all. I still don't understand why you feel that way, the way you do. And there's no change in the fact that I find overly convenient women vaguely nauseating.
あのさ、私の一方的な片思いなのは分かってるけど、それでもこうして海外しく接してくる私を少しは不憫だなとか思わないわけ？
If I started lying to you out of compassion and dating you out of pity, would you really be happy?
たとえきっかけが同情だったとしても、同情のまま終わるような女じゃないもの、私。
You're one hell of a tough, proactive woman, you know that?
惚れ直した？
To be honest, I'm envious.
いいからご飯食べちゃいなさい。
Yeah, sounds like a plan. I bring my hands together in front of the food on that with loving care, in the microwave, give her my things and move my chopsticks towards the plate. Sweet and sour pork and fried squid. It's one hell of a strange combination. meticulously speaking, but the taste itself is impeccable as ever. Her skill at cooking is superb in contrast to her seemingly rough, careless attitude. She unusually attentive to small details and highly considerate of others' needs. A good woman any way you look at it. Of course, I think the exact reason I can rid myself of doubt is why would she fall in love with me, of all people? It's delicious.
So, よかった。
Whatever the case may be, I think Armin's smile is probably genuine, and that's why it makes me feel like there's a thorn stabbing into my chest. Do I even deserve to be loved? I understand that I'm overthinking things, but I can't stop. Every time I get on this train of thought, I start wondering what I'm even living for, whether there's any real meaning in my survival. I start thinking I must be pretty pathetic, excuse for a human being, if I can't believe in that smile. When you get down to it, my master was right. I'm still just a punk kid. Just as my mouth loosens into a self-deprecating smile, the sound of cell phone message alerts resounds inside the room. I swiftly reach my phone at the breast pocket of my work clothes, but the sound didn't come from my phone, which would mean Almond takes out the cell phone she left carelessly and peers down the LCD screen. Seems that the message was sent from Sachi email address. At the name, my chopsticks abruptly stopped dead in midair. For some reason, I have a bad feeling about this. Apparently finished with Sachi's message, Alma quietly brushes her long hair with her free hand. Alma holds the cell phone for my inspection. Actually, Sachi's email displayed this on screen. Sachi to Salmon Arno. I can't say a thing, and I didn't see a thing. The contents of the email are that single short line. The problem lies in the image attached to it. It's a camera phone snapshot taken only a little while ago. Quite a skillful piece of work, really. In front of the school gate, JP is pressing her lips to my cheek, both arms intertwined around me. When did she have her phone? Yes, she didn't see anything, so why do you send a fucking picture? Well, that was, involuntarily I swallowed the food in my mouth, along with a lump of spit. I was at my throat like a rock. Only Sachi, what happened to not saying anything to Amen? I mean, I guess she didn't technically put it in words, but, well, this is Sachi we're talking about. I doubt she did this for the malicious pleasure of it. The burden of keeping the secret was just too heavy for her to bear. In agony with guilt over Amen's ignorance, he probably took advantage of this dubious loophole out of sheer desperation. It was just a stupid prank of JB's. Well, let's see. It's kind of a long story, but that's pretty much how she is. Mind going into a long story of yours? What exactly were you doing with JB at the front gate? That's the logical next question for him to ask, but JB is a naturally wicked woman prone to harassing me in this way at unexpected moments just so she can smirk at my agitation. Would be my explanation, I guess, but it hardly seems enough to satisfy Alma, and unfortunately it also happens to be the truth, so there's not much I can do about it. Yeah, I was. Wait, that doesn't mean this is my job, okay? It isn't. Saying that and that alone, Amen closes the cell phone in her hand with a snap, not betraying any particular interest. I sort of expected you to ask me about the job at this point. I told you to work at a cleaning company, right? Today we're cleaning a 20-story building in Tokyo, but, well, this big rat appeared when we were still getting set up, so everything ended up chasing it around. The thing was the rat was unexpectedly nimble. We ended up losing sight of it entirely. And if we just let the things get away, it'll eventually pop out of its hole again and cause more havoc. And our client was telling us, I can't sleep at night when that rat is on the loose and all that. And so we ended up splitting up to track the thing down, but for a rat, it was pretty sly. It took a good 3 hours before we found it again and finally exterminated the thing. I'm initially replacing certain nouns with metaphorical analogs about the information I'm giving Amen otherwise roughly accurate. I really did spend hours running through the intricate web of sewers under Tokyo in hot pursuit of a rat. Incidentally, a gas mask does absolutely nothing to improve the smell of raw sewage.
へえ、大変だったんだね。
Yeah, I guess it was, but that's all you have to say. After promising I'd have a meal with her, I ran off to work all of a sudden. Stayed late without even giving her a call. Not that I possibly could have, leaving her to wait in vain for hours. And top it off, her reward for her patient is a picture of me flirting around with my boss. But she's not planning on saying a word of complaint. I mean, I'm playing it a bit of a defensive front and all, but even I recognize that she's kind of shifted on this one. Shafted. She grumbled a little bit. I was pretty much ready to give her a proper apology. But this indifferent response is well outside the range of my expectation. To be honest, it's inspiring some serious unease on my part. Generally, aren't women more, jealous creatures? I'm not exactly an expert, but I know a few females in my time. As I understand them, women tend to be more selfish about things like this to the point of irrationality even. That being his own sister, because his sister is interested in incest. Don't know why. You don't have any questions about any of that?
だって仕事の話に口挟まれるの嫌でしょ？それとも何か歌？
It's not it, but
まあそりゃね、私よりも仕事を優先したってのは面白くないよ。でもそうする必要があったからあんたはそうしたんでしょ？
yes.
だったら何も間違っていないじゃない。
Yeah, well, I guess not, but Amin's really understanding about this. She's being so reasonable that it's somehow making me feel increasingly guilty about the whole thing. It's kind of a complicated feeling. All of a sudden, some kind of switch seems to have been flipped inside Amin. Her eyes narrow and slits. What?
そうか。もしかしてユージ、私に焼き餅を焼いてほしかったのかな？
From the way we've been saying things, it sounds like we're trying to avoid jealousy, not trying to get it. If I was trying to... No, that's not really...
そうよね。ユージはツンデレだもんね。それじゃあ焼き餅焼いちゃおうかな。
Amin's hurting my head. Spare me.
キスしてくれたら許すかもよ。
This woman, exactly how serious is she about this? No, I think the real question is how badly is she underestimating men? Alright, Amin, close your eyes.
強引。でもそういうの好き。
Clearly confident that this is nothing more than a bluff, Amin closes her eye, jerks her chin up, and fearlessly sticks out her lips, even though you don't have to stick out your lips. This girl is looking down on me. Maybe I should teach her a lesson. Another question. And we're only 19 minutes in for this part. What do I do here? This is called for shock and awe, steal a kiss. Or this is idiotic. Can't let myself get caught up in her nonsense. This is idiotic. This is completely idiotic. If I get caught up in Almond's nonsense and let her coax me into kissing her, it's all too obvious that the reparations shall exact in the aftermath will leave me in staggering debt. As Almond waits patiently, her eyes closed and lips puckered like an actress in a lipstick commercial, I reach out and give her a full flick to the forehead. Moron, did you really think I, of all people, would fall for such a blatant trap?
Nani yo? 一瞬迷ったくせに。参ったな。マジかよとか思いつつ、ちょっとくらいいいか？キスしちゃおっかなとか思ったくせに。
You're the one who said you'd be satisfied playing my big sister. You know, sisters don't pester their little brothers for a kiss on the mouth.
じゃあ、いないって言い切れるの
？Well, yeah, I guess there's probably a few out there, but that's seriously a rare case.
ユージ、お姉ちゃんとキスしよっか。してみたいでしょ？
Don't start playing some incoherent character from an incest-themed porno. You're just trying to push this through by force.
なんだよもう。ユージの育児なし。
In my line of work, what you're scared is a phrase you don't want to hear under any circumstances. No matter what unreasonably reckless action you're being encouraged to take, the instant that question gets voiced, you have to spit out "hell no" and instantly leap into action. If you back down in the face of a taunt like that, your reputation among the group will plummet irrefutably. But we can't forget about the wonderful concept of tactical withdrawal. A dignified retreat when the situation calls for it. It's no act of cowardice, this is just a case. This is just such a case. Anyway, it's late. Head back to your room already.
何よ。都合が悪くなると追い返そうっての？これだから男ってやつは。
I'm grateful to you for the meal and sewing and everything else, to the extent I can't really express it in words. But this isn't the same as a romantic relationship. You're an adult woman. I think you can grasp a distinction yourself, right?
少し焦りすぎたか。うかつだったわ。もう少し外堀を埋めてから本丸に攻め込むべきだったわね。
What?
まあいいわ。今日のところは帰るよ。食べ終わったお皿は流しの桶の中に入れておいて、明日まとめて洗うから。
I can take care of my own dishes.
何よ、私の仕事を奪う気？私はユージの仕事に何も文句を言わないんだから。
What, a tyrant?
まったく、こんな都合のいい女なんて他にはいないんだからね。感謝しろとは言わないけど、あんまり雑に扱わないのよ。いい
？Hold up, how many parts do I do here? Okay, this is part 3, and I have to do... Well, this part is about to end soon. There's 3 more. I guess I do 6 parts, 1 session, wherever I get the time to do this session. Yeah, I got it.
わかればよろしい。じゃあ、私行くね。おやすみ、ユージ。
Yeah, night. This girl seems to feel some pathological need to force her way into my life. But the way Amon suddenly shows up and starts doing the housework without being asked, only to get hopping mad over something, preach at me for a while, and then vanish as quickly as she came, inspires a definite sense of deja vu, specifically her fierce pushiness and burning desire to take care of others reminds me strongly of JB. If I'm comparing her to JB, who's been something like family since I was a kid, I clearly don't dislike Amon. Honestly, I enjoy her company. But it also is undeniable that I have a hard time seeing her as a love interest. How can I put this? Well, like I said, she feels more like family. Something like my older sister was to me when she was still alive. Oh boy. I need the frickin' stretch. Something like my master. Something like JB. Almonds become something I care about in that way. And that's exactly why I can't thoughtlessly take advantage of her. I don't want to end up making her cry. Those are my honest feelings right now. As I return to the first floor after my bath, I spot Sachi walking toward the front door. She's in full maid uniform, but her hands are empty. Somehow, this feels vaguely unsatisfactory, probably proof that I've gotten accustomed to the way things work around here. Yo, Sachi.
Konpanpa, Kasami-san.
I'm sorry, what?
Konpanpa, Kasami-san.
Sorry, my bad. Well, this is one thing I'm not sure I'll ever get used to. Sachi's ability to do absolutely bizarre things while keeping that "this is a perfect normal, why do you ask" expression on her face is really something else. So I'm just curious, but is talking like a Daisilic with a Russian accent some sort of fad these days, or maybe this is some sort of code? Which would leave... Where the hell does she come from? Just as a new theory begins to take shape in my mind, Machina pops out from between Sachi's legs. Was he hiding inside her dress? Like, what the... What the heck? Okay, where did you come from? Since when were you a bloodthirsty boxer? As I look on in silent bemusement, Machina pulls Sachi's skirt back and forth, noisily rustling the fabric. Sachi's calm coloration of this action reflects her trust in Machina, or at least I really want to believe it does. Alright, so why is Sachi talking in that bizarre way? Extreme typo. Machina mimics pulling a cigarette from her lips and loudly blows out the imaginary fumes. Apparently, she equates adults with smoking. An image to resist commenting on the matter, allowing Machina's strange explanation to roll merrily onward. At least say 3-player match or something. Well, knowing this girl, the innuendo was probably more effective than anything else. Also, if you're looking to recruit another player, why didn't you just invite Amen? And on to the next part.